for a short stretch, not a long stretch.
Right. So, Ron, let's talk about the game last night a little bit. I heard Rick Barnes just use the word character in the post-game press conference. And, you got two starters out. You're down by 9 with 6 minutes to go in the first half. Your offense is not clicking at all. And then you just flip a switch. What does it say about this team to be able to do that coming off of such a bad loss over the weekend?
It says to me, man, his players really understand exactly what he wants from him, because you got Coach Barnes coming out there with no voice. He would remind you of Don Corleone. When Don Corleone would lose his voice, and a lot of times he was just looking, and it'll be ruckus going on, and he'll look at his guy and be like, "Do you trust me?" Yeah, we trust you. Well, listen to Mike. Mike's in charge. So, you know what I'm saying? You're looking at Coach Gainey. Coach Gainey's in charge, but y'all see I'm still right here. So get this stuff in order. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's a lot of it, man. What makes that switch click is they don't want to go back in that locker room and deal with him. You know what I mean? They don't want to deal with him in film sessions. They don't want to deal with him when he does finally get his voice back. Like, it's different, man. Like, as a player, a competitive guy, you never want to be called out. And one thing he has no problem with doing is calling you out. You know what I'm saying? And calling you out in your face, and then going out to the masses and letting them know exactly what he just said to you. You got to go and answer that on the floor. So that's one thing. And then second, man, you when you're built the way you are, you got a guy in strength and conditioning like Big G that holds these guys down and pushes these guys to limits, and they're conditioning, they're strong. Man, go out there and show it. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we doing all this weightlifting and things like this for? You big and bad, you enforcers, Euros, you like to push people, but you're getting out rebounded. Like, show me something. Olivia, you so talented. You got all the potential in the world. Show me something out here. Here's your opportunity to show me something. Y'all just got punked at home when Chris Lofton was getting his jersey retired. The gym was full. You had stars come down. You had people leave work to come down there early. Candace Parker came down there. Allen Houston left the Knicks and came down there. Like, you got everybody down there. Y'all got embarrassed. It was a close loss, you know what I mean? But call it what it is, y'all got punked. So here's an opportunity on the road, which you got two people down with everything stacked against you. It's okay in a sense to lose this game and use it as an excuse. We missed two of our key guys. What you gonna do? And you saw guys step up. You saw it as a guy. You understand why the stories were written about him with the family and house burning and everything. You saw that step up. You saw Josiah step up. Saw how he do finally play like a rim protector the way he's supposed to play. Julian Phillips, you finally got to see that motor that we were looking for early in the Kentucky game to lead over and go all the way into the second half. His motor was relentless. Like, this man was flying to the boards, and they were face boxing him a couple of times, and he would still get swim moving, getting around, going to catch it off the rim. So you had an opportunity to show your character after that Kentucky game, and I think that was in the back of the mind of these guys, and they came out and showed true character.
Ron Slay's appearance brought to you by Zach England, a Best and Brock Best personal injury attorney in Chattanooga. Zach's got your back. Last thing for me, Ron, and that is, I love Sky Ziegler. I love watching him play, but the ups and downs and the inconsistency. I mean, my goodness, as a teammate, when you go into a game, do you have to kind of identify? I'm trying to think of I don't really recall a player that was like that with you. I maybe Tony Harris, maybe, but
yeah, you have to be the first person to come to mind.
Okay. Do you have to kind of identify whether or not they're on or off, and does that affect what you have to do that night?
A little bit. But I think at the same time, man, like, speaking to guys like Tony Harris, you know how they work, and I think with Zakai, you know how he works. And at some point, there's no way you would trade him out for anyone, knowing that at some point in the game, he's gonna hit the switch and make up for it, not on one end, but both ends. He's gonna be a pest defensively, and at given the opportunity, he has the mentality to, like, forget it. I'm gonna go score. And you saw it. All you gotta do is continue to play basketball. He's a guy, man, that had so much success last year as a freshman and an underdog and flying under the radar that you almost forget like he hasn't had to be in a role yet without having a wingman on this side and all the responsibility being put on his shoulder. You had Kennedy who was being brought along and he was testing Kennedy, but at the same time, it was up to Kennedy for how far this team would go last year. The same thing, but this year with Santi, with Josiah being out, Santi was the guy. How far do we go? It's kind of up to Santi, you know what I'm saying, in the grand scheme of things. Now you take these guys out of the mix and you put him right there, and this dude is on your shoulders. Like, it ain't no more looking around. Who you gonna defer to? It's on you. Like, you're the one that got us in this hole. Can you answer the bell? And I think he has a guy. It's a guy with strong character, man, and a mental will like out of this world. So he's gonna go out there and get it done. And you cannot, regardless if he got it going, if he don't, you got to believe in him, man, because the work that he puts in, and you can believe in him and lean on him. And I truly believe, man, down the stretch of games, he's gonna get better. Like, he's only a sophomore. I think, man, that because of his voice, you think he might be a senior or a 5th year or 6th year senior because it's so deep. You know what I mean? He seemed like he's 35 years old, but man, it's still a baby in a sense, especially in the game playing at this high level, even though we've been playing in AAU. When you get to college, you get to play in Power 5. That's a different style of ball. And then when you get into SEC Power 5, that's a different style of ball. So still, I think getting acclimated to it, man, and he's going to be all right. He's going to be all right.
Ron Slay, SEC Network, 104.5 The Zone. He is huge. He's monstrous. He's awesome. We appreciate the time. Brought to you by Zach England of Best and Brock. Zach's got your back in the Chattanooga area for personal injury attorney. And I'll leave you with this, Ron. If you knock, when everything's submitted and you're like a regular guy on SEC Network, of course, that's tied in with ESPN. I just want to give you this. And that's owned by Disney, that you knock on the right doors and you get free passes to Disney. I just want to let you know that, because that's like a $15,000 bonus check. That place is expensive. So you still have to pay. You still have to pay for parking.
Yeah.
But you can get the rest of it free. I'm just going to let you know. Okay?
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate it. My son and my wife, I promise you, they're going to love every minute of that. Nephews, everybody going to love that. So
one of the most frustrating moments of my life as a parent, we drove all the way down there. I pulled all the strings to get the tickets. And my daughter, who was 8 years old, said, "Next time, Daddy, can we just go someplace close like Dollywood?" I mean, bent the steering wheel as I was
I see. At 8 years old, she would have had to figure out this. You gonna learn how to drive this week because you driving us back. I'm gonna put my seatbelt on and I'm gonna leave it up to Jesus because he got the wheel on this. So I'm done. I'm outdone.
Tell everybody in Nashville I said hello. I appreciate you.
Most definitely, man. Appreciate you guys.
Have a good one, Ron.
All right.
Brought to you by Zach England of Best of Brock. That's a true story, by the way. I literally wanted to bend. Like they say when you're in really bad wrecks sometimes that the adrenaline pumps and you'll bend your steering wheel one way or the other. I tried. As I'm paying $50. Now, the tickets were free to Disney World, but we had to drive all that way with a 6 and 8 year old. And we had to pay for the hotel room. But I seriously wanted to ram the car in front of me when she said that, because Dollywood would have been, what, a 10th of the price and right next door?
Yeah.
She was disappointed to go to Disney World.
Oh, Lord, that's brutal. That's brutal. I don't like rides, so I mean, I still have fun at Disney World because there's so many other things, but I have never ridden an upside down roller coaster in my life, and I never will.
Really?
Never. I got a massive phobia of heights. I hate flying, funny enough. I do it, but like, yeah.
I hate flying too, because if the pilots are half as incompetent as the people at the front gate, then we've got problems.